Batman issue number 9. Now, when it comes to this issue, this is all kind of payoff. Like, this is kind of like a one big action sequence that happens in this issue that comes down to the Arthemax or the Cadillacs that happen in the beginning of issue 8 or at the end of issue 8, where Mayor Poison Ivy gave Commissioner Van Savage full force to do whatever he can to capture the Bat Family, or the what do they call it, the Batman crime family, I think they call it. I'm trying to remember specifically the Batman crime family. That's what like the news reporters are calling it. And what you have that because of it, Batman being Bruce being Batman has a plan, and he's saying to the Bat Family, "You have each task, like Duke, you have a task. Stepping Brown, aka Batgirl, you have a task. You have Oracle, you have Bob going there in the clock tower to guide you. Damien, you have a task, and I have a task. This is what we're going to be doing." Um, and it's just trust the plan. And because of it, you just get this big action sequence where Batgirl and Duke are getting chased by by the task force, which just feels so deja vu because I'm naturally watching Daredevil, and it's like that show is dealing with task forces. This comic series has been dealing with task forces. It's like, god damn, this feels a lot of deja vu-ness that's happening. But, when it comes down to the main crux of the issue, it's a big action sequence. It's a motorcycle action sequence with Bob Gordon saying, Duke or Stephanie Brown saying, "Can I do this?" And then Bob was like, "No, negative." It's a good chunk of it is this big motorcycle chase scene. Now, what I kind of like is they're trying to give you a bit of an emotional hook, give you a little bit of character work in this, because in issue 6, Bruce kind of went fed up with Damian being Damian, and he kind of has this conversation with his AI version of Alfred, and saying, and basically Alfred saying like, being a parent is not easy. You're having a rough time. Suck it up. Go talk to your son. Rectify things. And the conversations that Bruce has with Damian is pretty good stuff. It's just there's a part of me that feels like it could, because it's dealing with all this other stuff, it feels very packed. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this issue where you have an action sequence, character stuff happening here, and then, like, the ending part that leads to, spoiler, at some point, Bob Gordon is going to be in prison, is heading to jail because she's getting a solo book of her being in jail. Which looks really interesting. I saw like the little trailer that DC put in for next week. I'm like, I might actually read that. I think it's 6 issues. Apparently it's gonna be 12 issues. I'm like, okay. I'll pick this up. I'll read this. But anyhow, and well, also, but again, but to get back on track, you had this like action sequence here. You got the plan. You got the stuff with the Barbara Gordon stuff at the end, and then you got all this emotional stuff here, which I appreciate, because look, for something that's worth $7, you kind of want something that's like more than just one big action sequence, and having those emotional moments are very important to give you a sense of investment here, and him and Bruce trying to rectify his relationship with his own son. It sounds good. It's just like it feels a little bit packed with everything else, if that makes sense. It just feels very packed with it. And I mean, the ending was a little bit like the last scene that we see Damien in. what his mission or his task is very. I was like quite shocked that they went that route, because it's like iconography, but it could be a sense of. Here's a bit of a question: any chance that knowing Absolute Batman is very popular? What's the chances that they just make that version the main Batman? Like, oh yeah, he was once Witch, but now he's not. I know. Maybe. I wonder what would happen if they did that route. I think that would it probably would pee me off a little bit, because I'm like, I know him being the James Bond superhero is kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I'm realizing with the Absolute Universe, I'm very like, I prefer my Batman to be Witch and has a Bat family and Alfred and Butler. I prefer that, and all that. But yeah, I mean, but what happens at the end is a bit like, whoa. We see Tim Drake in this as well, but what I assume is that it's the classic of, oh, I think I'm retired and now I'm not. My family needs me. My Bat family needs me. So we'll see probably Tim Drake backing into the fold, and probably have a sense of, where does Tim fit in this? Where does Tim fit inside the major mole of the Bat family? Because there's a question of, like, is Tim Drake relevant? Like, is there any point with Tim Drake? What is his place in the Bat family? And if it's a simple, we'll have him have his own new identity. I'll be interested. I'll be interested in seeing how they fold that. But anyway, I thought this issue was good. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts of issue 8. Issue 9.